Live from Washburn University in Topeka, Kansas, it's KSWU News.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for our final show of the semester on KSWU News. I'm Sarah Sewell.
And I'm Carly Willis. Physicians around the state of Kansas urged the legislature to raise taxes on tobacco at the Capitol building on Monday. Sarah Sewell has more.
Several Kansas physicians, doctors, and legislators met Monday afternoon to discuss Governor Brownback's budget plan increase to tobacco tax. The increase would raise the tax on tobacco products significantly. The tax on a pack of cigarettes is reported to rise from 79 cents per pack to $2.29. Physicians speaking at the event focused on the health risks associated with smoking. Many spoke about the safety of children and eliminating underage smoking. But Jordan Lacino, a sophomore chemistry student, sees the legislature as a threat to our freedom.
I don't think it's a good idea. I think this is a discriminatory tax that's only directed at smokers.
Several members of the community think that this tax hike is a discriminatory measure. Smokers were forced to move outside in 2010 to enjoy a smoke break. Several argued that they are being taxed more because they are not the majority.
This jump in price is unreal and it's insane. I think we should be working on lowering taxes rather than raising them. Our economy is not improving and it doesn't benefit anyone to raise the taxes. I feel bad for the smokers because they're being targeted and their wallets being punished for simply smoking.
Creating winners and losers, because the people who would lose are the people who smoke and the people who would win are the people who receive tax money.
This program is part of Governor Brownback's budget plan, which increases taxes to what he calls the 4 cents. But Senator Laura Kelly, a Topeka Democrat, says it's a hit on anybody who smokes. He put them in the regressive tax category. Representative Pete DeGraff says the increase in tax on the 4 cents will have trouble passing. Reporting for KSWU News, I'm Sarah Sewell.
Governor Brownback's budget plan would also raise taxes on liquor from 8% to 12%. Washburn's 150th commencement ceremonies will begin at 9:30 a.m. Saturday, May 16th with the School of Applied Studies. The College of Arts and Sciences and its 19 academic departments will begin its ceremony at 12:30 p.m. Next, the School of Business and the School of Nursing share a combined ceremony at 3:30, and finally, the School of Law will award its diplomas at 6:30. To make this ceremony special, there will be an international flag processional and a new mace. Here's some quick graduation trivia. A mace is a highly ornamented staff of metal or wood carried before a sovereign or other high official in civic ceremonies by a mace bearer, intended to represent the official's authority. The mace, as used today, derives from the original mace used as a weapon. Processions often feature maces, as on parliamentary or formal academic occasions. Grand Marshal Carol Vogel returns to campus to lead the ceremonies. Also new this year is that students can register in advance with LifeTouch photography. Find the link on washburn.edu's commencement page.
There's no more Uber in Kansas. The company abruptly stopped operating in the state on Tuesday. The move came after state lawmakers voted to override Governor Sam Brownback's veto of a transportation bill that would impose new regulations on ride-hailing companies. Among the regulations, drivers for companies like Uber would be required to undergo Kansas Bureau of Investigation background checks and hold expected auto insurance beyond what they have through Uber. The company says the new law makes it impossible to keep operating. Uber called the regulations anti-competitive and said it destroyed hundreds of jobs. Today, we will find out how community members can practice being on a jury when we come back.
Okay, Sean.
It's none of my business.
No more, I'm sure they'll work it out.
No more, it only happened once.
No more, he said he was sorry. No more, why doesn't she just leave?
No more, not my problem.
No more, but he has such a bright future.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more bystanding. No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
Don't let me throw it down. Don't let me throw it down. Get down. Don't let me throw it down. Don't let me throw it down. Get down.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach re-employment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community.
Welcome back to KSWU News. I'm joined by Sean Leisinger, who is the Executive Director of Centers for Excellence. Sean, it's great to have you with us on our last show.
Thanks for having me today.
So, thanks for being here, and tell me about the Intensive Trial Advocacy Program.
Well, we call it ITAP for short.
Okay.
Basically, it's a program where our law students get to start on a Sunday, and they do full 8-hour days. And on that Saturday, they do a complete jury trial based on a real case out of the New York area from the 70s.
Interesting. So how many Washburn Law students are participating this year?
We have probably about 36 total this year, potentially, yes.
And what role do you hope the community plays in the ITAP program?
Each year, we ask community members to serve as either jurors or potentially as witnesses, and they get to come in on that Saturday and experience what it's like to actually be a juror in a full jury trial. So if they volunteer, they get to actually weigh the evidence, decide which way the case goes, and the case is very evenly balanced, so we get all kinds of different results.
Great. What's the general response from community members who've done it in the past?
They generally really love the experience. A lot of them are kind of a little leery of getting really called for jury duty. And in this case, they get to kind of experience an interesting civil trial, and they really get to weigh things when they go in for deliberations.
And on the other side of that, what do law students have to say about the ITAP program?
Our law students love the program because they get to really understand how to start and complete a prepared jury trial throughout that week. And we bring in outside experts, practitioners, and alumni to provide one-on-one coaching to them throughout the week. And basically, we're one of the few schools that still do it. Harvard did it for a while, and they don't anymore, but we do.
Interesting. How can people sign up to participate?
If they go to the Washburn Law webpage, /ITAP volunteer, ITAP volunteer, they can go in and click on their availability, provide basic information so we can contact them, and then that Saturday morning, that's Saturday the 23rd of May, they'll come in from about 8 to noon, and that's really all there is to it. They don't get voir dire questions. They don't have any kind of personal information they have to share. They just get to hear the trial.
Great. And is there a deadline for that?
We will accept volunteers up to about a day or two ahead of time, as long as we can get the information to them.
And what response have you received from students in the past about the program altogether?
They really love the opportunity. Having the jury trial at the end, in retrospect, when they talk to us afterwards, is just wonderful, because it gives them that real live kind of pressured experience, so they get to hone their skills as young lawyers to be from Washburn.
Great. And if you didn't catch that, that's washburnlaw.edu/ITAP volunteer, or you can call the law school, I'm assuming?
Absolutely.
Great. So Sean, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back after this with a story about a tech-free week for kids.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
may seem like a tall order to have your kids turn off the TV, tablet, phone, and computer for a whole week. That's the idea behind Screen Free Week, which is May 4th through the 10th. The aim is to make kids more productive and healthier.
Ever feel like technology is taking over your family's lives? Well, now's your chance to disconnect. It's Screen Free Week, a week sponsored by the Campaign for a Commercial-Free Childhood, when families are encouraged to go without watching TV or using the computer or playing video games. Instead, families are encouraged to try other activities and get some exercise. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends limiting the screen time of children over the age of 2 to no more than 1 or 2 hours a day. But experts say today's children and teens are spending about 7 hours per day watching television or using computers, phones, and other electronic devices. Good quality programming and media can provide children with fun entertainment, exposure to other cultures, and positive social values. But too much time in front of a screen can take its toll. Experts have linked excessive use to obesity, irregular sleep, a decline in school performance, and behavioral problems. There are strategies that families can adopt to limit screen time. Child experts suggest that parents keep TVs and computers out of a youngster's bedroom, discourage eating in front of the TV, and lead by example. Offer children other fun family activities to choose from. For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
Many furry friends were on campus today. The Washburn Student Government Association had its annual Dog Days of Summer at the Student Recreational and Wellness Center. Washburn students could go play with dogs and cats brought in by the Helping Hands Humane Society. WSGA hosts several events every year for students to unwind from the stress of finals. WSGA is screening Finding Nemo in the Washburn room of the Memorial Union at 7 tonight.
A study of 2,000 U.S. final year undergrad college students has found that 64% are worried that stress and anxiety is creating performance issues, which will result in lower grades than expected. The independent research released today by Stop Procrastinating also found that students believe their levels of stress are greater than in the past. Students responding to the survey stated their stress and anxiety levels were high because they were struggling to cope with expectations of graduation. 35% blamed this on the worry about lack of job opportunities. 45% blamed the overwhelming significance of their final exams, realizing that underperforming could affect the rest of their lives. 75% said they had procrastinated too much ahead of their exams, saying they wasted between 3 and 4 hours a day. Washburn University students are in the final week of classes before that stressful week of finals. Brian Cervantes looks into how students can deal with stress during Success Week.
The last week of classes before finals is a stressful time for college students. It can be hard to focus when a student has many things to do, such as work, final projects due, papers, and studying for finals. Angelica Willis, a graduate student here at Washburn, explains how she handles stress during this stressful time.
Usually I just try to relax, listen to some music, go for a walk, kind of just get my mind off of it, maybe watch some TV, talk to some family and friends, and just try to find a way to cope with it and get everything done.
There are more ways a student can help themselves relieve stress by making sure they have proper rest and eating healthy snacks to stay energized. If students are having trouble with studying, they can always go to the Maybe Library and have a tutor help them. The final week of classes can be hard, but there's a student who appreciates this week right before finals.
It does give me the opportunity to research and get on board with what I need to do my best. So I really appreciate that. I really don't see any downfall with it.
Forming a study group or finding a classmate to go over notes with is always a good way to review a semester's worth of information. It is also important to not put things off until the last minute. Schedule your time accordingly and make sure your job or any other responsibilities don't cut into your study time. I'm Brian Cervantes, reporting for KSWU News.
Finals begin next Monday. Students can find their final schedules on the Washburn website. And we come back, we will talk with the creator of KSWU News. We'll be back after this.
All the preparation, the training, it all comes down to this.
To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team.
We have a job to do out here today.
Some people think it's about muscle. but it's really about heart. A lot of heart.
My team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong. Looks like a lot of work's going into this.
This is what it feels like to be part of a team.
A winning team.
The action team.
Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to KSWU News. I'm Sarah Sewell, and I'm here with the creator of KSWU News, Kara Potasio. Thank you for being here.
I'm always here.
Right. Yeah, thanks for being on the show with me. So today's the last recording of the show. Did the show turn out to be everything you had hoped for?
You know what? It turned out to be more than I hoped for. You know, starting out last year thinking about it, I thought, can this really happen? And how is this going to happen? And who is going to help me make this happen? And, you know, for just starting out for the year with no help coming into it, without, you know, previous experience, this was a great opportunity. And I thought that the show turned out way better than I had hoped for last year. So I'm really proud of it.
Well, what was your favorite part of producing the show?
Oh, producing the show. Well, it gave me a lot of experience writing it, and I think, honestly, I feel like just the experience of the show is really what makes this one of the best opportunities on campus. And I mean, we don't have a lot of journalism, broadcast journalism classes, so I thought this provides great experience for everyone, and I hope that's true for everyone who's helped out on the show. So.
Yes, it has. What were some challenges you didn't foresee, and how did you guys overcome those?
Oh, gosh. Well, there's always technical challenges of the show, but we have a great crew that helps out, and then Dale and Lyle from the ITS, they help out a lot as well, and so they help fix those problems. One of the challenges that I thought, and I don't know why, but in the beginning it was trying to name the show. You know, I was like, well, what do you name a show? It's not like we have a number. It's not like we're, you know, 13 News or anything like that. No, so that was probably one of the biggest challenges right on. And then, of course, you know, trying to get people who are involved in the show to be involved. You know, the recruiting process was a little challenging at first, but I think it turned out really well this semester.
So you mentioned the recruiting process. So what about next year? What's going to happen?
Oh, next year, because I'm graduating the show, I really want it to continue because I think, like I said, the experience would be great for students, especially if they want to go into broadcasting, whether it's production or anchoring or news reporting or sports even. So my goal is to talk to some of the incoming freshmen this year that have been volunteering on the show, and then try and get the people that aren't graduating to come back and help out on the show as well. So definitely going to be doing some social media stuff, going to talk to different classes to try and get other people interested as well. So.
I knew that we had had a couple students show interest in some of the positions. Are there still some that we're definitely looking for people for, or are we still kind of an open slate?
Pretty much everything's open for up for grabs pretty much right at this point, because everybody but our sports anchors are leaving, so that's 2 positions right there, and then we'll need producers and camera reporters, camera operators, sorry. And so we pretty much need anybody that's willing to help out.
Alrighty. Well, for those of you just now joining us, I'm Sarah Stoll with KSWU News, and I'm here with the creator of KSWU News, Kara Protasio. We were just talking about what your plans were for next year for the project. What are your plans since you're graduating? What are you going to do?
Well, I currently just got a job at WIBW 13 News.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm a weekend night producer there. I just produced my first past 2 weekends by myself. So that was crazy and exciting all at once. And then what I plan to do, they're going to pull me in for a few more times, and I'm going to also be a photographer as well over there. But I hope to become a news reporter and hopefully make my way up a little bit.
Right. You've been really busy. You're also nominated for the Siberson as a finalist. How has that been?
It's been pretty exciting. I've been waiting for them to pull it up on the website because they're supposed to put in all our bios and
for the new semester.
Yeah, I've been checking that out and they haven't done it yet. But they're having a ceremony for it on next Friday, so I'll go to that. And then, it's just the waiting game till graduation to see if I got it or not. So hopefully.
Well, we're all rooting for you.
Thanks.
Lastly, let's get back to KSWU News. So you just did your final presentation for the class Advanced Media Lab. Was it bittersweet?
It was, and the fact that this is our last show is pretty bittersweet too, because the show is obviously what I've been working on for almost a year now, and it's been a lot of. It's been up and down, but I love it, and this is what I want to do with my life. So, honestly, this is the stuff that I've been wanting to do, and so to just be able to help to make it a reality was honestly just the biggest thing for me, because I honestly, going into it last year, thinking about what I was going to do for the project, I didn't really know if this was possible. So, just having it, even the fact that we've done 20 shows is amazing. So.
It really is. It really is. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll be back after this with sports.
Believe that home is where your pet is.
And that loving an animal means never giving up on them, never letting them go.
I believe that when you spay or neuter your pets, you help decrease the number of homeless animals.
Because every dog and cat deserves a place to call home.
I believe that I found my best friend at a shelter. And you can too.
We believe that together with Best Friends Animal Society,
we can bring about a time when there are no more homeless pets.
Visit ambassadors.bestfriends.org.
Odds of becoming an astronaut, 1 in 13,200,000. Odds of being struck by lightning, 1 in 576,000. Odds of dating a supermodel, 1 in 88,000. Odds of bowling a perfect game, 1 in 11,500. Odds of being trapped in an elevator, 1 in 24,528. Odds of catching a ball at a major league game, 1 in 563. Odds of an injury from shaving, 1 in 6,585. Odds of tripping while texting, 1 in 10. Odds of getting cancer in your lifetime, 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women.
It's up to us
To change the odds for our generation.
for the ones we love, for our future.
If you don't like the odds, stand up. Stand up to cancer.
Welcome back to KSWU News. I'm Trevor Nettleman. The investigation into the deflating of game balls by the New England Patriots is now complete. The investigation concerned last season's AFC Championship game between the Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts. The NFL revealed that 11 of the 12 balls provided by New England for the game were underinflated. In his report, attorney Ted Wells says it's likely that 2 Patriot employees deliberately deflated the footballs, and that star Patriots quarterback Tom Brady was aware of the actions. Patriots owner Robert Kraft said he's disappointed with the findings. The report did absolve all other Patriots players, staffers, coaches, and team ownership. Well, the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight is over, but the lawyers are just starting to come out swinging. Two men who feel ripped off over the lackluster fight filed a class action lawsuit seeking at least $5 million from Manny Pacquiao. They say Pacquiao, his advisors, and Top Rank Boxing should have let everyone know that Pacquiao had a shoulder injury. In a second class action lawsuit, two other pay-per-view customers gave the same reasons and are seeking the same amount of money. Floyd Mayweather was also sued on Tuesday. This suit was brought by the mother of his 3 children. She alleges that he lied about her during one of the interviews he did in the build-up to Saturday's match. Mayweather told Katie Couric that Josie Harris was on drugs during an incident that led to him spending 2 months in jail for domestic violence. Well, at Washburn Sports now, the 5th-seeded Washburn baseball team rolled to a 9-1 victory over 4th-seeded Missouri Western last Friday, advancing in the MIAA tournament. The game was in the first round and is a best-of-3 series. The Ichabod's won Game 1 on Friday, 6-5 in extra innings. Washburn made 15 hits in the game while limiting the Griffins to just 2. The Ichabod's advanced to the second weekend of play in the MIAA tournament, which will be at Community America Ballpark in Kansas City, home of the Kansas City T-Bones. Kyle Carnahan scored 3 runs, drove in 3, and was one of 3 Ichabods to have 3 hits. Him alongside Parker Gibson and Peyton Soiker, who both scored twice. The Ichabods will take on number 1 seed Missouri Southern in the second round on Thursday, May 7th at 11 a.m. Washburn has lost all 4 games against Missouri Southern this season. Well, the baseball team looking to end their season right, and students around campus trying to end their semesters right with finals coming up.
Well, and we're ending our season here at KSWU News.
Yeah, speaking of, here is a look back at some memories from our show.
Job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. Still in bed at 10 and work again at 8. You burned your breakfast so far, things are going great. Your mother warned you there'd be days like these.
Thanks for a great season, and we'll see you next year. Roll the credits.